I learned about my period in school. We watched the video and they took the boys in one room and the girls in the other room. And I remember from TV shows, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air specifically, because Ashley was asking about sex, and I can't remember if it was like period and sex or just one or the other. And I remember my mom asked, "Do you know about this?" And I said, "Yeah, I learned about it in school." And she said, "Okay, just checking." And that was the end of that conversation. I started my period at 13, and I just remember waking up with a stomach ache, not really knowing what that meant, and then went to the bathroom and was bleeding. And so I went and told my mom, and she said, "Okay." So she got me a pad, and I remember laying down on the couch on my belly and just not wanting to do anything. I really honestly don't remember anything about that day except for the very last class. We were in choir, and the teacher asked us to come up to the piano, and so we're standing in the piano, so it was my turn to go up. And I just remember my friends going, "Sarah," they were sitting in the bleachers behind me, and they're going, "Sarah, Sarah, untuck your shirt." And I was like, "What?" They said, "Untuck your shirt." And I said, "Okay." So I untucked my shirt, and then when I sat back down, they told me that I had bled through. And so I would just remember feeling really embarrassed and didn't know what else to do. And I guess I just figured I need to change my pad more often, or I don't really know. I kind of blocked it all out, and I don't remember the rest of the week period-wise. And I just was like, this is just what it's going to be till I have a baby, and just was on my own with the whole thing. I had just wished that my mom was like, "Let's just take the day off and go to lunch and sleep and lay around and talk to me about it," now looking back. But I know that she was doing the best she could because she didn't have a very good experience with hers. I remember her telling me that her mother thought that she was dying when she started her period. And then at the same time, when she started her period, she was around 14, and her older sister was 15, almost 16, and had a baby at that time. So it was right about the same time. So anything with her period got overtaken by her sister having a baby, and she just was kind of in the same, talking to her, she was in the same mentality, like, this, it's something you have to deal with. And so I don't have anything but compassion for her, and I don't blame her for anything she did or didn't do. It was her experience, and that experience transfers into us. And so I think that it's really important to understand the generational side of it too, so we can see it from a new perspective and make new shifts with our own kids. Or even if we don't have kids, for the nieces and nephews and friends' kids that were around. What I remember feeling about my first period was confusion, because I didn't really know. I just remember feeling overall there was shame around having your period. It wasn't something to celebrate, it was something to hide. I realized 13 years into marriage that I don't even talk about it with my husband. It doesn't even come up in conversation. I don't tell him when I'm on it. I kind of try to keep it hush hush so he doesn't have to quote unquote, deal with it, like there's anything for him to deal with anyway. But it was that stigma of, if you're on your period, you're gonna be a bitch. And I never wanted him or anybody I had dated prior to him knowing that I was on my period, because I didn't want them to automatically assume I was gonna be bitchy or moody or all these negative aspects for PMS. But he's never said anything that deterred me from it. It's just it's an assumption that I made and an insecurity that I had. I started shifting around, thinking around my period, I would guess sometime after my daughter was born. I have a son and a daughter. They're 21 months apart. My daughter's the youngest. And I didn't think about it at all with my son, except for I actually didn't really think about postpartum either. It was just something you did, and you have a baby and you recover and you're just up and going. And I learned really fast how detrimental that is to our body, to our mental state. And my son had health issues, so there was a lot of extra stress there. So when I had my daughter, I was like, I'm not doing that. And so I had a home birth with her, and really shifted everything I thought about birth, postpartum, our period, all of it. Just, it all made sense, and was like, this is something to be celebrated, not something that we need to hide away. And I don't want her to grow up feeling that way, and I don't want my son growing up thinking anything negative about it. It's just part of life. I think what I would want girls to know during that time, really just normalizing it and making it not something that's dirty or gross, and helping them to build that internal confidence so that they can not feel ashamed that it's like, this is a part of who I am. This is part of my body. It's a beautiful part of being a woman. And it's a quieter time. It's a time of reflection. It's a time not to push if you don't have to. And yeah, just to honor who you are, honor your body.